Oh, my mute was on. Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Howdy. It's pretty late for you, right?
Yeah, it's 7 p.m. So
Gosh, you work all day, then you could join on this meeting. I always
yeah.
feel bad because like I'm messaging you as I'm waking up. I'm like rolling out of bed, like, hello, yes, I will help you. And you're probably just like finishing your day. We'll give
Uh,
everyone a couple minutes. I thought Troy said that he would be here in a little bit, so give him like till 5 after, and then we'll start.
okay. Just a question. So I'm non-moderating or you're doing it for today?
Oh no, you're moderating. Sorry
Oh,
if I
okay.
like naturally I'm just like on, so sorry.
No problem. My light is a bit low, so I don't know if you guys can see me, but
Yeah, you're coming through really good. So it's all good.
I need to get better lighting. So I was thinking about getting like a key light that goes behind the thing. But then I also want to turn my desk around. So I don't know which one's going to start first. Because I have this window here that kind of like glares on this side of the screen.
Yeah, that window washes you out all the time when it's like
It does,
midday when
and
we
it's
talk.
the worst. And it's like it also like glares on my screen. So I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah.
all right. I think it's 5 minutes past, so we can start. All right, so this is a CNCF meeting, so we need to follow the CNCF Code of Conduct, which I'm going to paste in the chat for everyone to see. All right, so you can read through there if you're interested. All right, so let's kick off with the agenda for today. Just give me a second while I sort my many tabs that are open. All right. All right, so the date is September 21st, 2023. So, and I think in our agenda, Sarah, you have a few items, so you can, I don't know if you want me to read them out or you can go
No,
straight in.
I could go through. Let's see. Let me look at yours really quick because we're all kind of here for like we're all maintainers basically or contributors to Porter. So I'm wondering if you want to go over your errors while Troy and Ludwig are here, especially since Troy's here. He's kind of
Yeah.
our like Kubernetes guru. Troy, I'm throwing you under the bus here. So we could like do from bottom up instead, if you were comfortable.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So basically I was while I was working on the Porter update, the operator from within, I think Kate's, I was getting that error with the Porter install command using the bundle that's already, I think, on Docker Hub. So I decided to like substitute that install step with a merge, I think merge deploy. So, and then after that, do the other instructions of I think there's a test installation in a quick start workspace. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Should probably open up the docs and share them here.
Yeah. So I have like a couple of quick questions. Are you running kind? And then if you are running
Yes.
kind, okay, cool. And you're on a Mac. I think we talked about this. You're on a Mac, right?
Yeah, I'm on a Mac.
Okay. And then the last error you were getting was like this like unable to resolve parameter one.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
I posted in the channel.
I'll post it to the bottom of the channel and in the chat for everybody too, just so like everyone knows what's up. If I can learn how to copy, that'd be cool.
Also, and so actually there are two errors. So the first one is to do with there's a reconcile error, right? With that message that that resolved agent configuration is not ready to be used. That's the first one. Of course, since I have access to the code, I've done merge deploy, so I took out that check because the configs were, I could see they were nil, so I took out that check, and then after that, I think it was able to run, but then the jobs, I think the jobs run in like a pods or something. They all error out eventually. So
Huh. Okay. This is weird. I haven't seen this one yet. And I don't think we've changed anything to it. Did you do this is probably not your issue. I'm just gonna like post it. We have like an integration page. I don't know if you did the kind integration yet. And then Troy, do you have any ideas on why this is erroring so much? I don't know if it's because we need to update the Kubernetes mixin.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, right now I don't know what version or agent config that he has, and also, I'm looking at the one error. It says parameter set Milama name from the value quick start. From value quick
Milama.
start. Yeah, Milama. Oh yeah, because the Porter Llama is the yeah, got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if, and this is using like a bundle to do this, to do an installation to then try it, right?
no, I'm not using a bundle. So I do
Okay.
remember the bundle there was that issue with it where it can't run kubectl.
Right.
So
Okay. So it might be a
yes,
Kubernetes mixin or even an exec mixin, but I think I was talking to Sarah about how we want to life cycle this in a way where you do use a bundle, but what the bundle does is targets the um, operator in a way where it can see what version it is and then upgrade from there. Because trying to use an installation CR to do that is going to end up being a situation where it can't life cycle itself, because then it will have to destroy itself to handle itself, and you end up in this weird situation. I can try to, I don't have a whiteboard to draw it out, and I have to speak really fast because I have to leave for a meeting in like 20 minutes, unfortunately. But
I think what you're
yeah,
saying makes sense though. It's like and please tell us if we're we're wrong. But like all I want is the Kubernetes mixin for the Porter upgrade action to pass in like the kubectl, get deployments, and then do like a string replacement on the deployment file to have the newest container image of the operator. And then
yeah. So
Troy, if you want
basically,
to show it, if you have it, if you don't, it's fine.
I kind of do. Hold on just a second. Let me find this. Learn how to Teams. Where's the share button? Show the share and screen. So it's interesting because when you do this, it's different than doing a huddle, which is like a different situation. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? And I'm
yeah.
Yep.
gonna go to order operator. Okay. Oh, sorry, the chat's like in the middle of the way. All right. Okay. So right through the terminal, right? It's not too bad.
No, it's good.
Okay. Okay, so I want to export. Now where am I? Yes, okay. K get pod, and I have the porter operator running in demo, right? And here is the porter operator pod. So it's this pod here, controller manager, right? So basically what you would do, let me see, get deployment, right? You would replace this image. So like, clearly this is an interactive experience, but I'm going to show you what, you can do this with like a string replacement. Let's see, image, right? So you would replace that image,
Yeah.
right? So you replace this. So say, for instance, you have a bundle and the bundle does the Kubernetes mixin, and then the Kubernetes mixin does this command to replace this image. Let's say their image is 1. This is going to fail, right? Because I don't have one at this version. Once you exit out of this and restart, it'll roll into the new version of the operator. The operator will have all this PVCs and all the things that it needs still there, so you won't really be destroying anything or managing the lifecycle there. So there is an image. So basically, what you will be doing is like, okay, it's like a patch, right? But then, yeah, so you could do like K no patch pod, and then the name of the pod is always going to be the or patch deployment. Yeah, so you're going to K patch deployments, and then the deployment name is that, and then like whatever, what is it, spec, yeah, the value of the where the image is, and just replace it with that. I think it's with spec containers, something like that. And then once the mixin handles that, it'll replace the it will replace the pod. I mean, yeah, it'll replace the deployment. Deployment will update, it'll then crash the pods, and then it'll start new pods, and then now your operator's updating.
Yeah.
Trying to unshare. I don't know what I'm doing.
You had a
So-
question,
so-
Alan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this makes it easy, but I was kind of thinking like a bundle is everything else that comes with that image as well. So including the MongoDB, I don't know if I think it's a deployment, right? So you probably
Yeah,
can't
so
just update that image and not think about the MongoDB as well.
So let me see, because get deployments. Here's the Mongo.
We post
So
a different Mongo
Yeah, right
image,
here.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at that deployment, right? Okay, get deploy. And honestly, it would probably just, so for instance, because and we're also going to have to think about this when we include the gRPC server, like, do we want to package that as well, right? That has to, so there's components of the operator, if you throw a bundle at it, which should be able to discern what it needs to update. So if it's the operator itself, if it's the MongoDB, if it's the gRPC server, it should be able to handle that from a, let me see. Oh, namespace demo. Right, it should be able to, what image is this? This is the image is spec container image. Okay, so that's the workflow. Oh, this is something different. Because the MongoDB has something else as well in it. Here's the common scripts, here's the path. Here's the name.
To your point, Alan, I'm hoping that
Here's the image.
we rarely upgrade Mongo because I don't want to mess with the data store. If we upgrade the operator and just like leave Mongo alone, then there's more success that the operator upgrade will happen and that we're not like touching and dealing with state. But I think also, don't we package the Mongo image in with the operator images? Because if you look, it says porter operated Mongo.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know.
So that's what I was getting at. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
This is, so even if you replace Porter MongoDB, it has a PVC. So it'll basically have all that state restored once the pod gets rolled into a new one. So it won't really delete any of the state. It'll just be bound to a new container that's just resultant of the operator, of the Mongo container being updated. So that's good. Like, you don't have to update the PVC bindings or anything like that. That should just stay the same. So to recap, you can have a porter upgrade command that will take care of the image. like if you want to do the whole thing, it should just be able to do the whole thing. But the bundle should satisfy that situation. The bundle should say, I only want to update the operator. I don't want to update the Mongo or the gRPC server once we get that involved, right? We just want to do those situations, and then the kubectl mixin should be able to do the string replace with the patch command. That should satisfy the image that needs to be replaced to be updated, and then it should be able to give you a command back. I haven't played with it yet, but no, you bring up a very good point, because if you get to like 7 iterations of the operator, 2 years later, we probably should update Mongo, right? That's a good idea. So no, thanks for that. I don't know where we can write any of this down. I know we have notes. I haven't been writing them down. I'm actually trying to stop
I'm
sharing.
getting to it right now.
Okay, I can't. I
It's
don't
in
know
the
how to
bottom.
say-
Oh, is it in the top of your thing? Here, let me see if I can kick you
Yeah.
off.
So yeah, so somebody share or unshare me, and then we can have a more
Oh, it's because I'm not
Oh.
Porter. We're all software engineers. Troy, don't you see it on the top? Go to the top of your screen
wait,
where
I
like
think
the
I gotta
Zoom
go back to
bar is.
that. Okay, so oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the problem. I was like in a different window where the Zoom app was like hiding from me. I'm on a Windows PC. So
I have one more thing still on upgrading the
Mhm.
operator. So on the original issue, right? I think Caroline had like that idea suggested of the operator like upgrading itself with I think custom resource. So I don't know if anyone really understood it. Maybe was there like any rationale on why she like chose to suggest like something like that? So
This is a me question. I'm not 100% sure. And like something that Carolyn told me a lot was that like she was like, "Hey, my Kubernetes knowledge is pretty old," and I was like, "Cool, me too. Like my Kubernetes knowledge is pretty old too." So
yeah,
I think like adding the like outside reconciler for the installation resource was like, I don't know, I could see where you get there, and then I like totally forget that you can update the deployment spec and that Kubernetes can handle this for you. It's like a very like I software engineer and I forget that software does things for me type of thing. So I'm not sure if that was like the case, but I remember like when Troy and I talked about it, I was like, wait, can't you just do this in the deployment spec and then like Kubernetes handles the rollout and like make sure everything's successful for you? And then I was like, oh, I totally forgot this was a thing. So I could totally see her also forgetting that it was a thing if she did.
but yeah, because the way I see it, Troy's suggestion and this suggestion, they kind of like trying to achieve the same thing, right? Only that this one is I don't want to say less hacky, but at the end of the day, all you have to do is write up some file with the new image and deploy it, and then everything is done by the operator. So
But
Right.
to be fair, her point was even, and this is me not knowing, but me maybe kind of an assumption, is that if you throw a porter bundle at an operator, it should be able to handle this situation, right? So even if you were to do that, it should be able to still lifecycle its own self, but the fact that it has to use the CR to try to achieve its own state will then fail itself, right? So using the bundle the way I was describing that, and I'm not saying it's the right answer, I just know the other one is that you're gonna run into that problem, right? Suggest that you can still throw the bundle at the operator. The operator will then just use the mixin to say, okay, cool, we'll do this, and then I'll take the life cycle, I'll let Kubernetes handle the life cycle of my state, because if I try to do that, I'm gonna collapse on itself and fall into a place where I can't recover. So I think that was, and I can't, that's the only thing I can infer from her solution, because I believe anything you throw at the porter operator is a bundle. The lifecycle should be handled by the operator. However, you can't do that with itself because, yeah.
Do you have any other questions? And I know that you still might have those errors too.
Yeah,
So,
I still have the errors, but because I think Troy has to go, so we kind of like jumped ahead. So yeah.
Yeah, I apologize for that. We want to get to the errors
no.
before I go. We can do that now while we have opportunity.
Yeah, I have like a lot of clarifying questions on the errors, and like that's I haven't set up kind to run the operator or the operator
Um,
bundle yet.
I could show how like I kind of like ran it
I
like
would love
real
that.
quick. Yeah, let me just. Ooh, wait. All right, I need to give permissions to share.
You might have to leave and come back.
What? Oh yeah, sorry, I'll be back.
But I made notes just in case you want to update them. Sorry, I'm trying to read Ludwig's last name, and there's so many dots that I don't know what's an I and what's a J. There we go. Did you get the Wasm sickness? You, Justice, Ralph, everyone else.
Yeah, I think so. I did a COVID test yesterday, but it's not COVID anyway.
No, Ralph said it's not COVID too, so
I'm back.
welcome back.
Sorry, it was updating, so okay. Let me share. Is my screenshot?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So first, aren't sure what I was following. So I have a lot of tabs open here, but bear with me. Oh, come on. Oh, so if you remember, this step totally refused to work for me. This one here, because of I think that issue with a mixing. So what I did was I do, let's see, match queen. My PC is a bit slow, but okay. Well, and
It's
then
always laggy whenever you do it on Zoom too. So you don't worry.
yeah. So what I do is instead of running like this step, so I can continue like all these other steps, I do mesh deploy. So this will create the kind cluster and then deploy the operator using the source code. So I think this, well, still deploying.
I wonder because you're using Mage Deploy, and that's probably
Yeah.
like applying the manifest, like doing like a kubectl apply of the manifest, where the porter operator is basically like it's doing the same thing, but it like has you create that credential set that it runs, and then it makes sure all the mixins are installed. I wonder if because like you're kind of
Mm.
like conflating the two, that's why it's yelling. Now, don't get me wrong, it yells at me too, no matter how I do it.
Yeah.
But if you let me get the thing that I was sent. Um, here it is. How do I send things? I'm wondering if you set up this integration that I'm going to post it in Porter General chat. If you set up this integration and run a local kind cluster and then run through the quick start, if it'll work differently for you. And we'll probably get errors still, but like just different ones.
Oh, I've never seen this. Okay. See.
Don't worry, me neither until like this week.
And I think this is actually not, if it's somehow mentioned in the docs, but it's somehow then linked to that page.
No, I think like
Um,
honestly, like right in front of like prerequisites, we should expand it and like have in like big bold text, like, yo, set up your kind integration first. Cause like even
yeah.
I didn't even know this was here. And I was like, it's broken.
Do we
So
know if
Mm.
like a newer version of Kind makes it work easier? Because I was thinking that we're doing this,
unsure.
because right now this is at what, I think these instructions were for version 8. Now we're like version 20. And I don't know if that makes a difference, but I know that I honestly don't install it that way. We are creating a Helm chart to install the operator because we have the other components. I know that's not going to help this situation right now. Excuse me, but
Yeah.
it's honestly just to get the.
It's just to get this bundle working. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's it. And like this is just for like, hey, baby's first bundle, like so people are familiar with bundles in Porter, and now we're trying the operator. So I think honestly, so I spoke to Jeremy Rickard, who was like a co-creator reporter. He was like, I was like, I can't get the Kubernetes mixin to work. And he said, just do this and then like we'll see if it works. So maybe like Alan, yours and my takeaway post this meeting is like, let's just go through this kind setup and like
Yeah.
I'll post in chat like, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm seeing, here's all the commands, and we'll start like writing down all the commands. And then that way we can update this. And then second, like we'll see what new errors hopefully we get.
So if I get you right, that means this is now working, right? If I do porter install.
Right.
Ooh,
Hopefully.
okay. But it works for you, right?
I haven't tried it yet. I've been on integration test hell this whole week. So I just got unblocked with that. But I'm saying
Okay.
like post this meeting, let's go through this kind setup. I can do it or and like let you
Yeah.
know if it's still failing or what. And like cool, now we'll like I know I've been kind of blocking you, but now we at least know, hey, here's what we're gonna do to like update the Porter operator bundle to have an upgrade path. We're gonna call the koops mixin and run that like deployment stuff, or we'll make a bash script and that will do the same thing. And then like put that for the upgrade action for Porter, and I can like link you some references to that too. But
Yeah.
first, I think if we do this kind setup, we'll at least get unblocked a little bit.
Yeah, this is kind of taking a bit too long. I don't know. But I wanted to point out the fact that actually there's a mention of configuring kind and minikube, which
Does
I
that
think
link to where we go? To the
that's
I
the
bet it
thing.
does.
It doesn't. It's a
So
404,
It's gone.
right?
It's gone. Nice.
that's troublesome. Well, at
Yeah,
least we
and
know where it should go now.
yeah, I was looking for it all over. That's why when I saw it here, I was like, oh, maybe this is supposed to go there. Yeah, so probably we need to update. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta go, but thank you all. I appreciate it. I'll see the notes and I'll update them if I see anything missing. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Larry.
Yep.
Thanks, Lee. All right.
so yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be more unblocked because Troy got V1.0, his like stuff merged. And now I have the
Okay.
integration test merged, so like we can actually help. But yeah, our takeaway is I'll update the notes, is we're gonna go through this integration thing and just see if it works. Maybe.
Um, this looks to be ready. I just need to run this again. So this usually fails, and then
Oh, it's deploying things. Do you mind if we, while we're doing this, we maybe give Mohit's question? I'm hoping I'm saying your name right.
yeah, no
Some
problem.
light.
Yeah.
Would you like to go and ask your question and then tell me how to say your name?
Oh, I think
Perhaps they're AFK. I'll try messaging them just to make sure. But
Mm. So
did you get an error?
no, no error. So it's pretty much deployed.
Cool.
Just so everything I think is there.
Oh, cool. Well, at least you have something running. And now you
All
can,
right.
I think at least the takeaway for like where you're at now is you can like update that operator deployment that Troy showed you. And just like try to like update the deployment spec and then apply it and then see if it actually updates and like the rollout
Yeah.
goes well.
Actually, that's not my issue. My issue is
Okay.
sorry. My issue is trying to use the operator, right, locally to deploy like a bunch of stuff, right? I think I already have this configured. So, for example, I want to install a bundle, right?
Yeah.
So I have um, this, right, for my bundle.
Yeah.
If I try to run, I think if I try to do that, let's see. This files, right? And we can take a look at what it looks like. Maybe I'm configuring it badly. But this is basically it.
Do you have that namespace created?
Yeah.
Probably not your problem, but just checking.
Oh yeah, I should probably create it.
That's like the biggest issue is when I'm doing this, I always have to double check like what is the namespace my operator's in and like, all right, should this go
Yeah.
in Porter operator system or should it go in demo or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, so the thing I don't get about this example here in the docs is where these come from, right? Am I supposed to
Maybe we
like
should just delete that. I don't know where that comes from actually.
should I like create it with just like they do
We should, so you see how I don't know if
Yeah.
I have to look. I'm gonna have to look. But like, I know for the credential generate, we're creating that credential set, and that's referenced in that operator bundle. And that operator bundle, like that's your kube config right there, is that credentials. But I'm not seeing, oh yeah, here. Do you see where we invoke? We're passing in that param right there.
Yeah. Here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the problem is I skipped all this, right? And instead of doing porter install, I did mesh deploy to create the kind cluster and deploy the operator on there.
Yeah.
So I didn't do all this. I skipped all of it.
Yeah, I think because we had to like skip around, you're gonna keep running into errors like that, where it's like until we can set up kind integration and actually do like credentials install invoke and like actually deploy the bundle, which should apply the manifest, then we'll like it'll be happy. But like there's like this like weird like dissonance between like us applying it manually and it not knowing that it's a bundle now. So like you won't be able to invoke that action because it's like porter opt to the bundle doesn't exist because we didn't install it, you know? But you should ideally like just be able to remove the param and like apply that installation. And then I'll send you also, I have too many computers open. In the Porter Argo demo, I've been using their installations too, just as like, because they already make sure it's like, okay, so I'll post it in chat. And this one should work just natively. Oh, this one has the parameters too. No, yours doesn't work. Go ahead and apply. Oh, did it work? What's the status on it?
Yeah, of course it applies successfully, but if you look at
It's yelling, patching, applied patch.
It does because I kind of where's that line? Should be down here in the code. Could be
Did you do some like update to the code so that it won't yell at you? Just delete the error.
Yeah, just get rid of it. So
don't let it happen.
Which I want to undo, but well, I kind of lose the change. Should have been around here.
I mean, you could get stash and then rebuild and redeploy, and then that all your stuff is. And now it's gonna take forever. So
yeah, let me do that. But yeah, but basically it's the change. I kind of just commented that check for because if you check this error I posted here in the channel, this one, something about the configuration not being ready. So I figured I could get rid of it. So at least just to see like how far I could go. So you can see I commented it out. So and it goes on to do what's supposed to do. The only issue is if I should get ports, right? So all the jobs fail, so can't apply the bundle. So
I see. All right,
oh
let
wait,
me,
what one is running?
is it the newest one? What's the time on that?
Oh no,
5
5
minutes.
seconds. Yeah, they
5
failed.
seconds. That's better. That is the newest one. Let's go.
Yeah, so
It knew that we were on the call and that it was gonna work because I was looking at it. So I'm
oh, it
going
didn't
my
work. It failed.
oh damn it. We were
Yeah.
so close. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
going
basically I just want like a working dev environment where I can make changes and see everything here like running. So but
yeah, can you copy out of the newest quick start the logs and post it in Porter General? And then while I'm going through, I'm gonna do the same steps you did and just see if I can recreate and like what's different.
okay.
And we'll just go
Okay.
from there.
All right, cool. I'll stop sharing and just do that.
Thank you, thank you. And we'll do the kind integration thing too. Okay,
Cool.
we're gonna go to Mohit's question. I don't know if their mic isn't working or they just don't feel like talking, which is fair. I usually don't feel like talking. Uh, would you like to read it, Alan? I forgot you were moderating. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. Where is it? Because I don't have it in the chat.
It's in the HackMD. It's like the first question.
Okay. Give me a second to find that tab. All right. So his question is, what are the key resources you recommend for someone new to Porter and the CNCF ecosystem? Are there specific technologies or skills I should prioritize learning as a beginner?
A
Yeah.
good question. Do you have, I mean, I don't know your background, so do you have any answers for this? And I can add on to it.
All right. So, first of all, I don't know how much experience he has or how long he has been working in this whole tech stuff. So, but I guess if for example, if I look at Porter, it's built on top of like containers, right? So maybe understanding like Docker and is like really important. So Docker and containers, Kubernetes as well. So
You're totally right.
what else? It's so, and then a lot of like I think CNCF code I think is written in Go, right? So I
Yep.
think a lot of the tools are written in Go.
All right. Sorry, I'm typing a lot. I would totally +1. So like how Porter works is it uses Docker and the Docker drivers to spin up containers and they make container
Yeah.
images. So understanding Docker and like container basics is super important.
Yeah.
A big thing
I-
about like understanding Porter too is realizing I would say familiarity with like deployment processes and like kind of developer pain points.
yeah.
So in my background, like I came from like HashiCorp before I worked at Microsoft and that kind of stuff. And like you work with like a lot of developer tools like Helm, like you know, you're working with like bash scripts, like people just make bash scripts to help you like run deploys. You'll end up with tools like Ansible and also GitHub Actions. And like people just start collecting these like tools and it gets really hard to keep them all working together. And that's where
Yeah.
Porter fits in. So I would honestly recommend if you're new to CNCF, which this is something I need to do, is go to the app delivery tag, and you should be able to find it in the Slack. And that you'll be able to like learn a lot because it's a bunch of like SREs, systems engineers, that kind of stuff. Um, and they will go and they'll like talk about their pain points and like things that I don't even know because I'm a software engineer. So like things about uh, like risk assessments and like cost matrices and things like that. Like I'm pretty bad at that. But also like if you're new and you're trying to learn Go, as you said in the chat, I would really recommend just like trying to stumble through the docs of Porter or Docker, and then like ping us, ping Alan, ping me, ping Ludwig, ping Troy, all of us, and just say like, yo, I'm getting this error. And you'll be able to like start contributing to the docs and like get more familiar, and then it becomes less scary.
Yeah.
Does that answer? Do you have anything to add, Ludwig?
Yeah, actually, I have something that I forgot. So, I don't know if he has heard of like the Synapse spec, because I think that's like where like the entire tool like starts getting built up. Yeah, so I think because I think Caroline abstracted away like a lot of that stuff in different repos. Yeah, we don't get to see it a lot, but yeah, the Synapse spec is where all these things of bundles and all that stuff comes from. So
Lud, I know you're sick, but you're new. What were like stumbling points you had?
I'll probably just start contributing, even if you really don't know what you're doing, because then you learn, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Lud came in fresh as green grass, and was just like, I'm gonna get Porter to work on Windows, which has been a huge undertaking. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think things like that are really good starts. So if you have like an M1, M2, or like an ARM machine going, I'm just gonna make Porter run on my machine. We do need ARM support, so that's always like something that's kind of fun.
Mhm.
Mahit, does that answer your question? You can post in chat too.
Yes, I got my answer.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming and contributing. All right. We're gonna no, that doesn't mean get up. Sorry, my dogs think all right means the meeting's ending. We have 10 minutes. So Alan, would you just like me to talk over my points, or would you like to bring them up? Or like how would you like to
yeah.
moderate?
Okay, I think we kind of like sidetracked you a bit. Yeah, so you were supposed to tell us about version 1 next week, what is left, what needs to merge, and then I don't know the release process and who wants to run the release. So
Oh, I forgot my mic was unmuted that whole time. Yeah, so your stuff for the operator bundle we're trying to get in for v1.0, which is I hope to cut it on Thursday. I don't like cutting releases on Fridays. And maybe what would be fun is just to set up this community call maybe a little bit earlier for you next Thursday in the morning, and then we can kind of all like just have like a community call where we stumble through the release process for v1.0. I'd like everyone to feel kind of like engaged in that process because we've all done a lot of work. That being said, like getting the docs a little bit in a better spot before we cut v1.0 is really nice. So if anyone wants to, you know, if they'd like pairing, now that integ is green on Porter main, I have time to like give to this, but I think, you know, stumbling through the docs, getting like there's just a couple loose ends so that when we do v1.0 the operator, like people will be able to use it. So I would say that's what is left. So here, I'll write down my notes. What is left? Which is the operator bundle upgrade path,
yeah.
and then documentation. And then would you be down to like Lud? I know it's gonna be early for you next Thursday. I don't know if you're gonna be around. And then Alan, do you have time next Thursday? Would you like a community call for the release?
Yeah, sure. Also, you don't have to worry about the time. It's
okay.
totally fine with me. So yeah.
Cool. Next Thursday for release. I will set that up and set up a reminder.
Okay.
And then I don't know, it's usually pretty simple, but I need to check out the release process and see what we have right now and if we need to iterate on it. So I'm going to put Sarah to look at release process And then if someone would want to run it, or because we're on a call, maybe we can all run it together. I don't know how
Yeah.
that will work, but I'm happy to have anyone kind of pitch in. We're trying to share the love a lot more. So anyone who wants to like help is welcome to. Cool. Do you want to talk about the triage process?
Oh wait. Okay, what is our triage process timeline? Should we add an author labeler? So is this there's something to do with Stillbot?
Yeah, there was like there was one person, but then I got a lot of like little side notes that Stillbot has like a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And like it can kind of like clean up things that make a repo look alive that's not. So I was thinking that some places have like a triage.md, and maybe it would be good for us to kind of borrow someone else's, like find one and borrow it. And then an auto labeler. When I worked on Boundary, HashiCorp Boundary, we had like if you touched like certain packages or certain files, an auto labeler would just add like, oh, this is for config, this is for API, this is for SDK, like stuff like that. Something like that would be really nice. But I think a big thing that I heard was that people want one, labels, and two, like timelines pretty well communicated. So if we're able to like just say like in 3 days we'll like triage an issue and we'll at least respond and say like, hey, this is what this issue is for. I've tagged it that we want help, but I can't really give you a timeline when we'll be able to get to it. Like people just want like a human response.
Yeah.
Does anyone have feelings on that? And then Alan, since you did Stalebot, would you want to look into the auto labeler?
Yeah, I can't say I've seen one working before, but I can take a look and
Okay.
so you could also point me to the one at HashiCorp, I think. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
open source.
Oh, it should be. I will go ask my friends and see if we can grab you the like configs for it. And maybe we should make like a triage hierarchy issue. Like I'll do that, and then we'll put like auto labeler, and then like maybe try to like source community feedback on like, hey, is there like a triage MD you guys like? What does it look like? Like, can we steal it? That kind of stuff. And then like we'll have to do a lot of reflection on like what can Porter like as a tool handle for like timelines so that we don't overwhelm ourselves, right?
Yeah. Also talking about labels and stuff like that. So I think to get like a lot of the community engaged, especially with the development work, I think it's good to create issues that are really simple to do and intentionally labeling them, maybe like good first issue or good first contribution or something, with also like how hard or easy they are for like new people to pick up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we need to be intentional about that. Not all the issues that we create should be like complex or require like a lot of knowledge to really finish. So
That kind of ties into my next point that I wanted to bring up. I know we're about to hit time.
yeah.
But Hacktoberfest is happening. Dio doesn't give shirts anymore, which is lame, but I'm looking into getting like some really cool Porter stickers. But like, would we want to be involved in Hacktoberfest? If we do, then we're going to have to kind of do a triaging session on issues and kind of do exactly what you said, which is like, we need to really
Yeah.
scope issues really well. So like go in and like comment and like be really verbose and then like size them properly. And then also
Yeah.
be prepared as like contributors and maintainers to like support them into like getting this code into Porter. So is that an undertaking people are into?
I'm actually open to it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's gonna be out most of October, and I don't know what Troy's up to, but I can also try to get some more rallied around. So let's do Hacktoberfest. And then
Yeah.
Hacktoberfest also, I'm in Denver, so I'm hosting a Hacktoberfest. I'm trying to at least host a Hacktoberfest meetup.
Yeah.
So for those who are in not Denver areas, you're welcome to host a Hacktoberfest meetup in your area. And then like, just it's a nice way to meet people, I think. But okay, cool. Let's plan beginning
Just one more
of
thing.
oh yeah.
So I had I think I've had docs update to docs come up a little bit. Or can't we leverage Hacktoberfest to get our docs updated?
That's actually a super good point. They do even have like labels, or I read it last night, but they had like you can do code or you can do non-code, and that's like
Yeah.
website. I don't want to say website's not code, but like docs, and people do podcasts and like talks and stuff like that too. So I think like creating like a good docs issue and like really scoping it to like what issues we're having. We still have 404s. Like we need someone to go find those 404s and help like crawl our site and like fix those. And also just like update docs. So having people just like fresh eyes go through the quick starts and creating issues for that, I think will be really great. So yes, let's do a big focus on docs updates and getting the website. Like, cause like we're all kind of like Golang engineers. I think like we're kind of lacking on like website
Right.
people. I don't Sumit is like has done the website. I don't know if you've seen the website. I'll post the Netlify link. It looks beautiful. And I was like, I could never do this. I have no idea. So getting website people in and like just like people who aren't Go engineers, I think would be amazing. Need some website help. Cool. All right.
All right. So I think we need to move a bit faster.
I think that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Mine are pretty much done. We've talked about it. So yeah.
I'll help you too after like this call. We'll go through and I'll set the kind of integration and like just start posting the errors I'm running into, and we'll try to get you like a working dev environment so that this goes a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So
one more thing I noticed. So in Slack, I think you guys don't use threads, right? Like you don't like, for example, when I posted that issue, like usually you guys like don't comment under the original post. You post like after. I don't know.
yeah,
Is it like the way we should be doing?
yeah, threads is probably a good idea. You're right. And we're just lame-o nerds, and like we just like don't. My brain just goes like so I don't even think. But I like that as a takeaway. As in Porter Channel, maybe we should use threads.
Okay, yeah, I think I get the rationale. Sometimes they can hide, like if you're following, let's say, a certain like chat, or they can hide like some details about a particular topic. But yeah.
It's weird too. Like the Porter Channel used to be super quiet and like, and it still kind of is, but we're kind of more rowdy now. Like we're talking a lot more. So I think threads is like a bigger thing, where it used to be like people wouldn't talk for like a month in there. So it didn't really matter. So I think now that we have like more people, like I'll make a post in Porter Channel being like, hey, this mainly goes to me, but to everyone else, because Troy uses threads a lot better than I do. Use threads. And so I will post that and I will start doing it.
All right, thanks. So I think we've reached, I think, the end of the meeting. I think we've run out of time. So I don't know if any other people want to say something before we finish.
Yeah, does anyone have any like final questions, takeaways, comments, concerns? Or you can just thumbs up. If you thumbs up, then I know you're good. You thumbs up in this. But you can. Cool.
All right.
All right. See you all online. Thank you so much for coming. Alan, thank you so much for leading this.
And thank you for the opportunity. So I'm glad to do. Yeah.
Cool. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.